my fellow YouTubers. I put the link in the description so you can go watch Olopp's video. Um, but it has sped up versions and emphasizes highlights of things that she said that were particularly troubling. I hadn't even I hadn't even seen all of those live streams. This is apparently like a meltdown that she has been having for today's Thursday, right? So almost 2 weeks. About 2 weeks, it sounds like. And she's even burning bridges with the people that were supporting her, like Yaba and Sam. I don't even know if that was even covered, but it is shared on my community post tabs that that Yaba basically was keep our names out of your mouth in regards to how you feel about Frenchie. Like, just keep our names out of your mouth, kind of thing. Girl, oh my God. So, Kalari is sick today. Mm. Bet you are. You have another burrito bowl? The worst one, I mean, first of all, the one about her mom was really bad. But apparently she did more than one about her mom where she tried to grift on a lie that she was going to help immigrants. Immigrants. And she said, go to the NAACP and some other organization. And I also am doing some work in this area. Here's my PayPal link. Wow. So apparently, she's presenting herself as an immigration lawyer, or at least, somebody who they can't even claim that. Okay, so I've worked with activists who help in immigration, who help people who are being deported, who help people who have been detained while they're trying to get entered into the US, like Haitian refugees and stuff like that. Um, I have spoken with them, and they can't put their faces up. I have no thoughts about a new song. Um, they can't put their faces up. They can't really talk about what they're doing. They have to be very careful about how they talk about what they're doing because every fucking chick, he says. Oh my God. Oh, yeah. Let me turn the sound off because holy shit, I got crazies in my neighborhood tonight, you guys. Wow. Um, so, anyway, uh, you, there's like advocates. Hi, King Garner. Hi, Maria Salinas. Hope you all are having a good Thursday evening. When you're helping, you have to be extremely careful because if you discuss anything about coming to help them, um, it could totally fuck up their entire case, right? It could absolutely fuck up their entire case. But a lot of what they were working on was stopping uh, deportations and getting people out of the detention centers who were refugees. It's just shocking to me that she's willing to lie about so many things. And she's like, I'm not rich, I'm not poor, but I have to beg for money all the time. And I really don't like the people around me, so I got to get some money to get them out of my life. Right? Okay. Um, and yous don't know how we're paying for this house. Well, I would imagine there'd be some public paperwork. I mean, it's pretty easy for people to look me up and figure out what I am doing for my condo. So, and my name's attached to it, right? So, why isn't your name attached to it? What sort of personal arrangement do you have with Greg's mom and dad? Um, I don't know what's going on there, but my regulars that I would watch did not go live today. They did not do their thing. And I'm wondering if they're regrouping to try and figure out what to do about this mess. Because they're throwing shade, and in some cases it's not even shade. It's like directly name call, like, I'm dropping your name, girl. Um so French Fried Girl not only did an animal farm rescue donation last week that was for in Canada, she did one this week that was in um, Kalari's area. So she's getting a little more direct with her fuck off kind of shit, which I don't blame her because Kalari can't shut her mouth. She's done. I think by my count, if you watch the Olopp video, I think there's something like 5 different live streams of her having an utter meltdown over the last couple of weeks. So, um, I don't know. I could talk about like what I've seen out of Chantel's stuff, but it's so goddamn boring, Chantel. Um, I really don't know why she wastes so much time having Salah play keyboard in the middle of the night and disturbing their neighbors. It seems like a complete waste of time. But he apparently has her on the clock. He is making her live stream for at least 3 hours, right? We've been having a problem with the. I don't know that you can hear it, but we've been having a problem with the pool gate, and so every time people go over there, the pool alarm will not turn off because it's like out of alignment or something. And I've reported it, but nobody's doing anything about it. You know, like nobody's fixing it. And I can hear it all the way in my master bedroom at night, depending on how still the neighborhood is. If there aren't a lot of cars passing or whatnot, which is mostly the case at night. Right now, people are coming home or they're going out to do things, right? But that thing rings through the neighborhood. And then we got the chirping fire alarm from somebody that lives across the street from me. Somebody's got a chirping fire alarm, and they just all they have to do is replace the battery, right? So anyway, this is heating up. It's getting very interesting. I'm sure that she will not be able to stop herself from responding to it because she doesn't have that kind of self control. She doesn't have that kind of self control, and it's already all out there. Like we all know now that she is at least the biggest grifter in girl world, but maybe one of the biggest grifters on YouTube for um for the amount of and it really doesn't matter to me if she was advertising these things on Twitter or Facebook or you know they were public GoFundMe's. And so, and at least the burrito bowl butt explosion problem was in December, January. And she claimed it required 10 days in the hospital, which is just fucking impossible. They only hospitalize you. I can't, DPH, I can't see, my eyesight's not good enough for me to see what flag that is. It's too small. I'm an old lady. But good evening. I hope you're doing well. Um, Turkey. Oh, that's nice. Okay. Hey, how are you guys doing? I thought that there was some fighting going on a while ago that was causing some turmoil. Has that all stopped? Because I'm seeing people want to travel to Turkey, so I'm assuming it stopped. But what was it like a year or two ago? I think it was no, it would have been probably about a year and a half ago that Hassan Piker was talking about it. And okay, so yes, there is some fighting going on, or yes, it's kind of cooled down and now there's tourism again. I'm probably asking you to type too much. I'm probably asking you to type too much. But anyway, I saw Hassan Piker talk about that about a year and a half ago because he's originally from Turkey and he still has family there. But that's the another interesting kind of funny thing is Kalari was trying to really rail in on Hakati's daughter for doing 8+ hour live streams on the weekends. I mean, so what does she have to say about Hassan Piker or Ethan Klein? That's exactly what they do, like 5 days a week. So is it only acceptable for men, Kalare? Yes, it was so crowded, but no fighting. Okay. My people are really kind and helpful. I've heard it's a beautiful country. Um, that it's a lovely place to visit, but he was mentioning that there was some stuff going on, like I guess a year and a half ago. But it sounds like it got cleared up, right? Which is great, obviously, right? And Are You Serious mentioned there are still places in Egypt you can visit that are not dangerous. I don't know if I would really want to, with my ignorance of these regions, risk it. You know? I don't know if I would be super comfortable risking travel to these countries that have had, turmoil, and try and figure out like if I'm have you, does anybody watch The Amazing Race? Do you guys remember there was an episode? It was back in the odds. It was when the show was probably this fourth or fifth season, I think, or something like that. And they went to Morocco, and one of the teams made a wrong turn and ended up driving to like a mosque with the film crew, because you got to keep your film crew with you at all times in that game show. And they all got arrested. So the producers had to get involved to, get them off the hook, and but they weren't able to make you know, they they couldn't make the what's it called? What do they call that? The place where they're staying for the night. Check in? No. Something like that. Where they're running to this like finish line for the leg, right? The leg of the race. That particular pair got pulled because they were in jail. They were in a Moroccan jail with the camera crew. Um, that's how I feel like my vacation would go. Like, I would be the dumbass who would make a right rather than a left and end up driving up on something I shouldn't, you know? But I think probably in their case, the fact that they had so many cameras made it all more like suspicious, right? So, like, lock them up, get rid of these people. What are they doing filming this mosque? It's a beautiful mosque from what I remember. It was very pretty. Um, but it's little things like that that make me think, I don't know. I mean, Morocco looks really pretty, but would I really want to get fucked over like that? Would I really want to? And then there's that whole Return to Paradise movie, which has Joaquin Phoenix and Vince Vaughn. And I can't remember who the third guy was in it. And I can't remember. They were somewhere in the Pacific Islands, right? But I can't remember which country specifically. And they got first in trouble for throwing away a rental bike that was breaking down on them. They're like, it's our last day here. We left a deposit that's large enough to cover the replacement of this bike. Screw it, right? So they just threw this bike down a hill because it wasn't working for them. And then two of them were leaving before the third. And they had been smoking hashish like the whole vacation together. Um, and so the two who left early just threw their leftover hash in the trash can and left. Right? They flew out of the country. They're fine. But the third dude had so much hash in that um, whatever they were renting, like a B&B or something, that he was arrested as like a drug dealer in that movie. It's a great movie. You should check it out. It's a really compelling, very sad movie. Uh, I saw that Chantel finally watched Beetlejuice. Salah didn't like it. She did. And she didn't like the singing portion of it. But I mean, come on, Chantel. They did that in the first movie too. Daylight come and we want to go home. Or I don't know if I got the lyrics right on that or not. They did exactly the same sequence in the first movie. So I don't know why you would have a problem with that. It was just a different song. Um, Anywho, I liked it. I thought it was pretty true to form. I thought it was a nice homage. Is that the word I'm looking for? To the original movie. I thought and Michael Keaton still got it. He still got it. I loved that movie he did, Birdman, that was all done in one take. Like, there are no edits, there's no clips. It just, the camera is constantly moving, right? That was I loved it, Birdman. And it was basically making fun of the fact that he used to play Batman back in the day. He was going to be Birdman in this like stage production. That's another good movie. I'm going to give you some recommendations, I guess. My legs are getting a little bit better, but they're still in pretty piss poor shape right now. Like, this has been one of my lower weeks. But I haven't collapsed. I have not had any leg collapses, thank God. I have been walking very carefully to avoid leg collapses. And I've been holding on to all the furniture in my house. Though I do have a walker if it gets that bad. But I'm pretty much like holding on to every chair and stuff because like I don't know if the leg is just gonna go on me. Um and like even just taking a bath today, trying to get into the bath was so difficult. Um it's hard for me to get down and up again. It's that is one of the things that I've lost in the last 2.5 years is getting down and up. And I'm hoping that once I start my physical therapy that we can rebuild the muscles that help me do that because it really freaks me out. Southern California, Berkey Kansu. Hope you're having a nice evening. I'm from Southern California. I'm not going to stay on very long because I think for those of you who watch me frequently, you probably know that um, I try and keep it to about a half hour. Oh, you're in Northern California, huh? That's cool. I mean, like, quite literally, you have much cooler weather than me, depending on what side of um, the Golden Gate Bridge you're on, right? Because they get cooler temps on the side where they're growing grapes than they do on the side where the city is, um, in San Francisco. But that is like a cutoff, and I don't know how far inland that goes, right? I don't know where cool temps, like how, I don't know how that goes. But it must be nice to be so close to like the Sierra Nevadas. I bet, by the way, I've been watching a lot of Kyle Hates hiking when I'm taking naps and stuff because I've already seen most of his stories. So I just like lull myself to sleep watching these disaster stories. That's a great channel. He's pretty sensitive to the topics, you know? He doesn't get like gross about what's happened. But he will tell you of, like one of the stories is about like a couple, lesbian couple that got pretty much slashed up in Shenandoah, and it took them years to solve that. Before I came to the USA, everybody and me told USA is freedom's country. I came here and it's the worst quote. It's the freedom's country. Well, it's becoming less and less about freedoms, isn't it? Um, so if you're naturalized yet, make sure you vote because Donald Trump wants to take away all our freedoms. I'm just saying that's going to be coming up. Hopefully, though, we can. I think Harris is doing really well in the polls, but it all depends on like specific swing states of, how tight is it going to be in certain states? Is it going to give him wiggle room to try and argue election fraud, blah, 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 just like he did last time, rather than accept the results? So she needs to win by kind of big margins for it to be indisputable, you know? I can't believe Kalari actually put up her own PayPal to take advantage of immigrants seeking asylum in the US, you know? Um, that's, but it kind of goes with what she said about how she was doing political work with her Twitter account. What kind of political work, you know? DPH, another Turk. How many all Turks? I got a lot of Turks tonight. That's fine. There's no political work that you do online with your Twitter account. unless you are working with a digital campaign, period. Like there's no, I'm doing this on my own and I'm going to correct the record, bitch. Like that is, I just want to fight with people online. And she's proven that that is what she wants to do. Many people told me, will you vote for USA election? I said I shouldn't vote because I am not Native American. Well, you have to be a naturalized citizen, not Native American. But you have to go through the process of being naturalized, right? I shouldn't choose presidents for the US people. If this is your home, if like you're here on like green card status or something like that, there is no reason that you can't volunteer your time. You just simply don't have the right to vote. And that's kind of changing at the municipal level in some places. I don't know that they've actually gotten it changed, but there's been a lot of chatter for years that they wanted to let just all residents of a certain age, 18 and up or whatever, vote for city council and mayor and stuff like that. But I don't think they ever got that through. Because I think what they were thinking is that immigrant communities are not fairly represented in their neighborhood communities, um, for that reason. So that's why it was getting looked into, but I don't know the answer to where that went. Um, we got blinky lights. I wonder if people are putting up like their Halloween lights. I'm not gonna do it this year, you guys. People have been acting too weird around my house. I had to put in a security system. I'm not going to be putting Halloween decorations up because I'm afraid they'll get stolen or destroyed. I just don't need that kind of bullshit in my life. Um, in other girl world news, Amber Lynn has been like on vacation, I guess. She's been dark for like 8 days or something. And Mr. Snowflake, I think, is intending to drop a video tomorrow, but it'll probably go to his members only first. That is going to be about Tommy. And it's supposed to be like an hour to an hour and a half long, going into how dangerous it is for Amberlyn to be with Tommy. So that'll be interesting to watch. It would make sense that he would do it on a Friday dump, right? Friday news dump, you guys. By the way, we're right around the time of October surprises, which usually happen on Fridays. They like to do it when the majority of newscasters are not able to cover it, so that it sits there for like the whole weekend. that's, that's like the whole point of it is drop the story and let it sit, and let's see how this goes, right? So like for instance in 2016 when it was Hillary against Trump at that time. There was a Friday in October in which the Access Hollywood tapes got dropped that had the whole grab her by the pussy thing. And then within a few minutes, WikiLeaks started dropping the John Podesta emails. And his organization kept dumping on a daily basis for the rest of the month. And it was so weird because, like, the news organizations were like, we shouldn't cover this because it will influence the election. But it was newsworthy, and it's not up to you to decide how that's going to influence an election, right? So, um, it did hurt her because it was in the news like every day. If it wasn't in like mainstream media, it was on side channels and independent media like every single day. Even what's his face? Jake Tapper. He had an email from that dump pinned to the top of his Twitter wall that was something about like John Podesta replying to somebody and saying Jake Tapper is a dick. It was a lot of petty bullshit. It wasn't the kind of stuff that you would like make election decisions on, but it just made them out to be elitist and petty. And that just shouldn't have overshadowed the fact that she was running against Trump, who also is elitist and petty, but it did. And apparently, Trump's people, his voters, don't care about whether he's raping women and insulting them and grabbing them by the pussy. They don't care, right? Anywho, I hear late night walkers with children, so I'm gonna wrap it up here so I'm not saying some, nasty words. Hope you all have a good night. And be sure to check the description for Olopp's video.